Welcome to Survivor NSFW. We have a very cool special bonus podcast we are doing. Jonny and I have been talking. Well, we actually, unfortunately, I talk to Jonny every damn day of my life now. It's like my...
you lost life slaughtering.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's like, dude, like, what did I get myself into October of 2018 when I decided to join the adventures of Jonny Fairplay on this podcast? But no, for all seriousness, we have a blast doing this. We bring you a lot of content, and there are a lot of amazing Survivor-related events throughout the year. Jonny has been in the Survivor scene for many years and have gone to a lot of these events. And
well, I've been banned from a lot of these events, but I've heard about them.
Yeah, you have been banned, but you've then been unbanned, and because we're going to talk about
most of them.
Yeah.
let's not lie to the people. I mean, yeah. Well, I was invited to a lot of these events. I was not invited to many events. I've been banned from many events, and I've been unbanned from most events. So this is a learning process for me as well.
Well, what that means is you've been in the Survivor scene for a hell of a lot longer than me to be banned, then to be unbanned, and then banned again. But so we got one of my favorite people that I've met in, the Survivor scene, a Survivor super fan, one of the biggest collectors of Survivor memorabilia. This guy goes to all the charity events. Cool dude, generous and amazing human being. And we're going to talk about his event, the Survival Challenge. Welcome to the show, Mr. John Vataha. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Matt. Hey, Jonny.
How's it going? All right, so before we get to the actual event, like a lot of people at the end of the season of the Survivors, you see Jeff at he wraps up the reunion show, and it used to be head now to ebay.com/whatever, proceeds benefit the Elizabeth Glacier Pediatric AIDS Foundation, and then I think later years it's Stand Up to Cancer. I don't know what is that the current charity?
That's where it was last time, yeah.
Okay, and a lot of these memorabilia items, they'll be like the tribe flags or a particular player's torch. We've actually had the discussion, on some of the Patreon side of things. I wanted my torch from Pro Islands. I was still doing press, because I think the auction ended like a week later. Still doing press. A week after my finale, and I think I might have thrown up a max bid of probably like $3,000 or something, thinking it was pretty safe, because I think that was that about the average torch price around that time?
It's about right. Well, it was a little more for your season and others that had rights of passage, and not a lot of them came back.
Yeah,
but yeah, around $3,000.
So I thought I was safe there, and but I should have factored in the fact that being the asshole that I am, along with two other assholes, Lil and Sandra, especially Sandra, blew up a pirate ship holding everyone else's torch. So there's only 3 torches. Well, actually, I think OT's actually did. His wasn't on the pirate ship. But I think those are the only 4 torches for my season, which raised the value a little bit. So, and if I were to scour the world, and I don't think you were the original purchaser, but if I were to look, you would be in possession of the original Jonny Fairplay torch.
Yeah, yours and Sandra's.
Wow, that's whatever happened to Sandra? Did she ever do anything again, or they ever call her, or she kind of make history or nothing? Or
I'm not sure. I don't really remember her much after Pro Islands.
I would imagine probably a first boot, the loser club. I mean, if I had to guess, I don't know. So no, I do have. I don't know who so. On most of these torches, so the torches that you have, I promise we'll get to the event. Do they have 2 of the name tags on there, or just one on most of them?
Just one.
Okay, so but some of them, Do all of yours just have one, or do some have?
Every season's different. Some don't
Okay.
have any. Yeah, some
Okay.
have two. Some only have one.
Okay, because I'll probably get in trouble, but fuck it. I think CBS is done with me at this point, so fuck it. Here we on fans versus favorites. It was no secret. I was pretty distraught that I didn't get my torch from Pro Islands, and I mentioned this to anyone in production or anywhere else that would listen. I was like, man, I wanted my fucking torch, and I get back, and I resume life, and I go for the live reunion show and finale, and I'm called into an office, and I will not name names. I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but someone in production liked me, was a fan of mine, and or maybe a secret friend. I don't. And they stole. I don't know if there were two name tags on my fans versus favorites torch or just one, but I have the Jonny name tag from my torch in my display case in the other room, and it was given to me by a high-ranking official at CBS.
Good stuff.
Oh, I'm so happy. I mean, honestly, a torch takes up a lot of room. I don't know if you're aware of this. How many torches do you have currently?
Too many. My wife says too many.
Too many. Okay. Well, they do take up a lot. I can tell you, my little name tag does not take up a lot of room. So if that's as close as I get to the I'm pretty happy. So
when I saw you last summer, you asked me to leave you that in my will. So there's still a chance.
There is. Does it say John, or does it say what does it say on my torch?
It doesn't say anything on it.
It's just you're like they're just like, this is Jonny Fairplay's torch. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
It's got a certificate of authenticity that says it's yours, but there's no markings on it.
No markings.
Yeah.
Well, it should have the word loser carved in it because you didn't win.
You know what? I'm wondering if there's actually 6 or 8 torches. All right, so this would have been a great question for the Castaway watch along when we had them on. We just fucking finished, of course. But if I'm right, you know what? I don't even think we brought them back. I think they kept our torches at Tribal Council, and we didn't even take them. Like I think like when we walked, to the boats or whatever, I think we just sat them down and they just stayed there. But there's a possibility that we had replicas on our island, but I don't think we did. I think the only torches I think when you see us go to Tribal Council, you don't see us with our torches when we walk down the beach. So I think the only torches we had were the ones that they kept for us. So and we would just randomly grab one at Tribal.
Well, someday we're going to come to your house, John, and
kill you.
Right. So get your torch.
Yeah. So go ahead and throw your address out there.
No, we're gonna take a road trip, John. We're gonna take a tour.
Honestly, I would like to kiss my torch. Maybe more. You never know.
Well, I draw the line somewhere.
So I met John at my Survivor Caramoan finale, and that's kind of when I met Stephen Pickett in the lobby of the hotel. This is a new experience. Wow, there's all these fans that come to LA and get autographs and so forth. I actually met Bob Crowley at something called Reality Rally, and he kind of explained to me about your Survivor event that you do. So, John, let our listeners know what the name of the event is and kind of a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's currently called the Survival Challenge. It became the Survival Challenge last year when we moved. For the first 5 years, we played in Maine on Bob Crowley's property, and it was called the Durham Warriors Survival Challenge. Durham Warriors is Bob's charity that benefits veterans.
And
And
Bob
when we
Crowley,
moved,
he has like a quarter of an acre of land, so everything was really compacted. It was very small.
yeah, we had to grow and spread out a bit. So 5 years there was enough. The Crowleys were great hosts. They put up with basically an army of people descending on their house for like 2 weeks every summer. And they've got other things in life they actually wanted to do since they're retired. And so last year we moved out.
They said, "Get off my yard."
Well,
Damn
it was, so let me just say this. So this is, to me, I've played real Survivor, and this to me is the next best thing. You're not playing for $1 million. However, you get to play with other survivors and super fans of the show, all going toward a great cause, and the challenges and everything is super legit. It was, I took it very seriously. It was an honor when I got to play the first time. Got to play with Kobe Archer that year, and I made it, to like the final 6, and it was amazing.
Decided you didn't need to stack those blocks any higher.
Yeah, I mean, there's videos of these events out there, people, that you can find, and yeah, that still drives me crazy. And like I said, it was an amazing experience, and I got to do it. Like I skipped a year, and then I got to fill in last minute. I got a phone call. Could you do this event again? So I am the only former Survivor player to play the Survival Challenge twice. So
Dr. Jill played her second time last year. So.
Okay, Dr. Jill. So we're tied.
Yeah.
So I'm the only man. I'm the only male. But,
you're the nicest Survivor to play it twice.
Yeah, but it was great.
Jill's a scumbag. She's a bad. Her bedside manner is irreputable.
But I'll tell you from experience, it's compacted, and we're going to get into the details of the 2019 event. When I played, it was like a 4-day. I think, wasn't it 4 days when I played, John?
Yeah.
But it's challenge after challenge after challenge. So it's more difficult in the sense that it's more physically abusing to have to do. On Real Survivor, you're doing a challenge, every couple days or whatever. This, it's back to back to back, so it's physically demanding. You do get water, which is good, and you can win food rewards just like on Real Survivor. And the
John, can I throw? Because I don't know if you're aware of how this went down on David vs. Goliath, John, but Tyler Perry suggested that the cast of David vs. Goliath not get their clothes.
Yeah.
I'm saying, this is Johnny Fairplay throwing out a suggestion to you: no water. What do you think?
Well, there's this little thing about liability that scares our hosts.
I mean, either way, I'm just throwing out an idea. I mean, I think the fact that Angelina was stuck in the gray Spanx made the season better. I'm thinking you have the survival challenge, no water. I don't know. I think it ups the odds.
It would, for sure.
It would. But I tell you what, man, the challenges were amazing. There was other former survivors when I played, kind of mingling, and it was a
played
great
with Spencer Bledsoe, right?
Yeah, I played with Spencer Bledsoe and Nina Acosta and Twyla and Sarge Jason and Purple Kelly. It was
Purple Kelly.
Yeah, it was amazing. And
I would have rather played with Drew Bledsoe.
But I tell you what, it is coming from someone, like I said, who's played the Real Survivor, talking about this. If you are a fan of Survivor, realistically, you're probably not going to get on the real show, okay? So if you want that experience of a lifetime, I'm telling you, I've talked to these fans that have played the show. I was on tribes with these fans that played the Survival Challenge. It's a life-changing thing for them. People still talk about it to this day. And it has moved now from the forests of Maine to Illinois. So kind of tell us, how long is the challenge now? Kind of give us an idea of how realistic the challenges are and how difficult this game really is, and so forth.
Yeah, and I'll just take one quick step back. Matt, like you said, I go to a lot of these charity events, and obviously I run into other super fans who are at all these events, and everybody there's got the same story. We've all applied 50 times. Everyone's got a story. And the reality is what you just said. Most of us aren't ever going to get that call. And that's where this event came from. It was, why don't we all just get together somewhere and go play Survivor in a condensed version?
Why don't we go camp out in Bob Crowley's backyard and not tell him?
Yeah, you could get away with that up there. So that's where it came from, Matt. It was always about making a lifelike Survivor event for superfans. Like, we aren't a TV show. We're not interested in a lot of the storylines that CBS Survivor wants to give you. We're not interested in showmances and bikini babes. Sorry, John, that's not part of our cast.
I'm into the show. Like, the whole reason I started this podcast is for it to have a showmance with Matt.
Yeah, so we set out to make it as authentic as it could be for the guy who's never going to get the call and might want to get a little taste of it. So I ran into Bob at a charity event. We started about it. He had just retired. This was a few years after he won, so he had time on his hands and said, let's go up and do this in Maine. And yeah, he had some money too. So that's how this thing got started in Maine. And then, like we said, we moved to Illinois last year. So 2019, 5 days, July 3rd through the 7th. So contestants roll in on that first day, and things start happening. Like, we've never done the opening the same way, just like this show. If you watch all our videos, you think you might know what's going to happen, and I guarantee you we're a step ahead of you. And the people we've had come out, we've got people who are great at design. We have people who can build. We've got a whole crew of probably 50 people who literally spend 6 to 9 months a year making this event happen. So when you show up, it's not a bunch of backyard games. It's a full-scale production.
It is. I'm telling you, it is as realistic as it gets. And John plays, you are the Jeff Probst of this event, and you do a great job on giving that, authentic experience. And you have, like you said, the challenges, which are phenomenal, and they're super fun. And I don't know if you do, if you've done some new ones for this year.
Oh yeah.
But and I know,
do you have hidden immunity idols?
Yep.
Do you have hidden immunity idol nullifiers?
Not a big fan of the nullifier, but that's another discussion.
Yeah, but check this out. So the second year that I played, there was something where you could, if memory serves correctly, yeah. So it says there was something that was risk, and then there was something else that said, I believe, reward, and you could take either one. And I grabbed the risk one because I was willing to take a risk. So this is a piece of memorabilia that I have from the Survival Challenge right up here.
John's gonna need that back.
I've been looking for that for 3 years, man.
I got this. I got my canteen, and it's great, and it's all for charity. And where can people? You have to apply for your event. So you're not just going to pick every person that applies. So where can people go to apply? When is the deadline? And what do you have to do to try to get on your deal?
It's got pretty crazy. Like, the first year, we had 2 goals. Let's not get anybody seriously injured, and let's try not to embarrass ourselves too badly. And we just called all of our friends.
On both counts?
Hey, we did okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
And we just try to get our friends and say, hey, come up and play this game. And then it got some leverage. And in year 3, we started actually doing casting. And last year, we had almost 100 applicants. Wow. And that pales in comparison to Real Survivor, but consider, like you said, Matt, there's no $1 million prize.
Well,
you got to get yourself.
John, last season they had 104 applicants, so you're right there.
There's probably some overlap there too. Right?
Maybe. Big Mike.
Yeah, so you got to get yourself out there, and you got to donate $350 to charity. We don't make any money out of this. You know, we cover our costs, we keep them to a minimum, and everything else goes to charity. So that's a nice thing, and we're all happy we can do that. But this year we're going to probably go well over 100 applicants. So like you're saying, not everybody's going to get in. There's two places for information. We got a Facebook page. It's called Survival Challenge, and it's got tons of video and stuff. We did live stream of all last year, so that's all out there. And then we've got a website, survivalchallenge.net, and that's kind of like the archives. That has everything going all the way back to season 1. You can go back to season 2, watch Matt not build the block tower and get voted out. That's always a good time. So.
Sounds great.
Oh God, dude, it still pisses. You know, I think about real Survivor, but that's the thing, dude. Thinking about, I took it very seriously, to where it pisses me off on your event that I didn't do what I should have done and risk. I don't know what I was thinking. It was idiot. I thought that the other dude's, Ian's freaking tower was going to fall before mine, I guess. But anyways, yeah, the thing is, and I would go, if anyone is out there thinking about doing this challenge, go watch the old videos to kind of see how it's run. And so you can go to the website right now to do your, what does the application process entail, John?
It's pretty simple. It's just one question, and it's open-ended. It's like, tell me why you want to be on Survival Challenge and why you're going to win. And again, I'm not looking for, I don't care much about your life story. I'm not looking for any of that stuff that CBS wants. I just want to know why you're passionate about our game. Because it's not the same game. Like you said,
what's
Matt,
the correct
this is
answer?
Gonna unroll. It's going to unroll in 4 days.
Yeah.
So if you can tell.
What's the correct answer? So I mean, I'm trying to cheat here. I mean, like, once again, I'm not getting any other calls right now, John. So I'm trying, like, you know, I got a cheat sheet. I'm trying to do this application. What do I need to write down? What are you looking to read, John?
I'm looking for passion.
Yep.
And I'm looking for fans.
All right.
I mean, those are the 2 things. And
my friend worked at a store called Dan's Fans. They sold fans. You're
gonna probably need a little more than that.
And John,
I'm not gonna use him as a reference then.
So the other thing I will say is, Troy Zan played the event prior to him going out for his second time on Real Survivor, and to prep and from what I've heard, it was a pretty damn good prep playing the Survival Challenge to get ready to go back on Real Survivor.
Is that what tore his MCL? Is that why he didn't win, because he did your challenge?
No, actually, it's a couple of great stories from that. One is we did the challenge with the tilt tables where you have to stack the blocks and you're using the rope. And he didn't do well in it in our season, but obviously he had a chance to practice that. And the one challenge that he won immunity on Game Changers was that same challenge.
Wow.
And he texted all of us, and that aired, and he said, thank you. Because he said that was the reason why. You know, obviously you don't practice these things in your backyard, but he actually got a chance to do that. And the other thing that happened with him is he got voted out during our game on a blind side. And he told us afterwards it really woke him up that when he got back out on the real show, he was too complacent. And he had to pay more attention to what was going on around him. So, you know, training ground for second season Survivor players as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey.
Yeah. So definitely check out the website. And like I said, it's a wonderful event. And if you are a fan of Survivor and you're willing to get off the couch and do this, and the thing is, man, you don't have to be some physically fit, crazy athletic person. When I played with men and women who, by looking at them, you would think, there's no way they can do this challenge. And there's some of the most amazing people that I've played with was in these challenges. So if you don't be held back to apply for this by thinking you're not, the most athletic person, because there's a lot to the challenges. So, John, I hope you guys keep doing this challenge, and you also go to a lot of these events. So we're going to be talking about some other events on this podcast. What are some of the other events that you go to as a fan, John, throughout the year?
We've done Jillian's Reality Rally every year.
I'm still banned from that one.
You're still banned from that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been. Like, I was invited and then I was uninvited.
Oh, so that's different than being banned, right?
Well, no. I mean, the invitation will not come back. So I think it morphed into a ban.
Okay.
So, but I have many other friends banned from that one too. So that one's okay. That one I can live with. So, but I hear good things.
So that, and you're going to talk to Omar tomorrow night. Reality Rally's the other besides Reality Rally, the Hearts Reality in Orlando.
Yeah.
That's the big group of fans is down there every year as well. Mostly because that's a gathering spot for survivors. I mean, Omar does a great job of bringing in former survivors to be a part of that. And so we never miss that. That's another one on the must-do list. And Reality for Diabetes, like I saw both of you guys out there last year that Tasha does. It's another good event.
Right on. And there is going to be kind of tied to your event. There's an event that's, I don't know all the details about it, but it's something overseas. Can you give us a little bit of insight on that event?
Yeah, there's a guy I met actually out at Reality Rally. His name's Bill Libel, and he's an American who's now living in South Africa. He started up a school for kids, and he's been a Survivor fan forever. And he comes back to the U.S. a couple times a year to raise money for his school, and usually around Survivor events. And so he participated in Reality Rally. He played in my Survival Challenge last year. And he came and talked to me and said, hey, you know what? I would love to do this in South Africa and make it a benefit for the school. So we sat down and talked through some logistics and things like that. And he's going to launch it this September. And I'm going to go over and host that. I'm really looking forward to help him get that off the ground. And as of today, he already has 4 American survivors signed up to go over and play, and a full slate of former South African Survivor players. So this is kind of taken on an international flair now, like U.S. versus South Africa. So,
do you know the 4 Americans?
I do.
Or is it a secret?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if I want to say it. He's kind of letting it out on his posts on the
then go ahead and say.
On the Worth Playing For website. I just heard 2 names today that I don't really want to say yet. So you might want to talk to Bill.
Okay. Well, who else might I want to talk to and ask of the 2 names that you don't want to say?
Well, that sounds exciting.
I'm pretty good at Survivor. I don't know if you see like pretty transparent.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, yeah. So once again, give them that website, John, if you want to apply. The deadline is the end of January 31st.
Yeah, January 31st is the deadline. It's survivalchallenge.net. You'll see a page on there that says 2019, and just hop on there. It's an application page. Like we were saying earlier, it's really simple. Tell me as much or as little as you need to convince me that you want to play this event and you're a huge fan. And then there's a 2-minute video requirement. So if you're not a great writer and it's easier for you to just show me that, then do that as well. We're not looking for highly polished content. Just show me your passion. That's all we're looking for.
What were those 2 events that you were telling me that you were going to on February 20th? Do you remember talking to me about that?
February 20th.
February 20th. I believe tickets are available at survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com.
The big premiere party.
Well, that afternoon from 1 to 4 p.m., John, you can play with myself, Matt Bischoff, and several other castaways, and we're going to be tutored by professional cornhole players, and we're going to have a tournament. They're going to be the judges. Afterwards, there's going to be a final round against these players. You've seen them on ESPN2, ESPN3. Pretty crazy stuff. winners get Survivor NSFW cornhole boards. That happens that afternoon. That is in Morrow, Ohio. Tickets are $100 each. Your lunch is catered. Your booze and non-booze for people like me, non-booze. But for everyone else, get liquored up, enjoy. That is on Wednesday, February 20th, from 1 to 4 p.m. in Morrow, Ohio, and then at 6:30 p.m. VIP is at Frickers, Westchester, and you will be joining me, Matt, Big Tom, Tanya Vance,
Roger Bingham.
Roger Bingham, a host of others. It's Angela Perkins, Ghost Island, many, many more. Come join us at Frickers, Westchester, Ohio. Tickets for both events you can find at survivortix.com. Oh, what was that other event you were telling me about, John? Oh, the Survivor NSFW viewing party and Jonny Fairplay's 45th birthday bash at the Dirty Bull Brewery in Durham, North Carolina. That is on March 13th. Once again, survivortix.com, survivortix.com. Yes. Oh, what was that, John? You were telling. That's right. April 10th in Baltimore. We are back at the Brass Tap. Special guest winner of Survivor Ghost Island, Wendell Holland. He'll be there joining me, Jonny Fairplay, in Baltimore. Brass Tap, the Fitzgerald. Where are tickets available? Oh, survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. And April 24th, we're going to be at Zanies in Nashville. I'll be joined by Taj George, Grammy Award winner, Survivor great. And tickets available at zaniesnashville.com if memory serves correct. John, I'm so glad you were here to remind me of all these amazing events that I would have forgotten about if you didn't mention them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, check it out. And thank you, John. We wish you the best of luck in your challenge this year, buddy.
I appreciate you guys doing this. It's a big boost for us anytime we get former survivors kind of throwing their weight behind what we're doing. And I know you guys are big fans of the show as well, and so does the fan base. So having you say this means a lot, and we really appreciate it.
Right
we'll include the links on our social media as well, as long as in addition to the description of the actual podcast. But thank you so much, John, and we'll see you at all those events at tickets available at survivortix.com. And please, everybody, fill in your applications. Tell John why you should be there at survivalchallenge.net.
There are many, many other Survivor or just reality star related events that happen throughout the year. We just got done talking to John Vataha about the Survival Challenge, and the next one we're going to talk about, actually the next two, I'll bust out two of these things. Johnny, I don't know if you've ever been to Reality Rally.
No, I was asked. They did a trip to It was a reality star extravaganza on Catalina Island, and I went and I spent most of the weekend with a beverage in hand and wearing nothing more than a Speedo. And during that weekend, and sometimes less. And during that weekend, I was asked to be a part of Reality Rally. And upon the conclusion of that weekend, I was asked to not be a part of Reality Rally. But from what I hear, it's a lot of fun. So you tell me more, Matt Bischoff.
Yeah. So it's Jillian Larson's.
Yes, that's who invited me and then uninvited me.
Yeah. So I played Survivor. My season aired in 2013, so I think I might have gone in either the year I went 2014 is when I was eligible to go. So sure. I got hit up and invited to go. Some of the Caramoan, my cast, went to the event. It was super fun. You're at a really nice resort in Temecula, California. They treat the reality stars really well. And
lots of wine there, right?
It is wine country, Temecula. So you do a lot of different meet and greet. There was like a gala kind of event, and raffle off different items and so forth. But the main event is it's an amazing race type event. It's like a scavenger hunt through Old Town Temecula. So you and another reality star or just like, let's say I'm the reality star, I get paired up with fans that raise money for this charity. So basically fans of Amazing Race, Big Brother, Survivor, Cake War, all these cooking. There's a lot of the cooking show people that go to the reality rally. But you get paired up, the fans get paired up with the reality stars, and you get to play this Amazing Race style game throughout. It takes all day. And it was really, really fun. It actually makes you feel like you're playing the Amazing Race. So I got to meet a lot of cool people. The weather is beautiful. And it is all for an amazing charity called Michelle's Place Cancer Resource Center. And you go to Michelle's Place. This Michelle had died of breast cancer. And her parents wanted to create a place, resources and wigs and someone you could go talk to. Like if you found out you had breast cancer, you can go to this place 100% for free and get a lot of information if you have this tragic disease. So it was really good to be able to be a part of the charity, because all of us survivors that go to any of these events, it is very fun, obviously, to meet all, your friends from the cast of these shows, but we all do it to use what we have done on our show for charity. Wouldn't you say, Jonny?
Absolutely. I mean, I know in the past I probably went to some of these events for the wrong reason, just to go and party. But when you as Nick Wilson would say, after you get saved, you kind of look through things through different eyes and maybe a different lens of sorts. And no, it's really cool when given the opportunity to help and make a difference to do that.
So Reality Rally, it's this year for 2019. It's May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It's the 9th annual Reality Rally. It's a 3-day fundraising event, and you can check out information at realityrally.com. And like I said, I've been there once after my season. I would love to go back again. Beautiful California, and all for a great cause. And Jonny, this is kind of a little history lesson. So, I joined Jonny October of 2018 on Survivor NSFW with Jonny Fairplay. Jonny's been doing this podcast for a while, and I've been actually wanting to do a podcast of my own, kind of a bucket list type thing. And Jonny's like, well, hey, I need a new co-host, and boom, the next thing I know, I'm doing this podcast with Jonny, which we've had a great time bringing you lots and lots of great content. Not only do we do the free podcast everywhere you can get podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. The Survivor NSFW weekly podcast drops every Wednesday. We are doing something called a watch-along. If you're new to listening to us, we do a watch-along for our patrons. If you go to patreon.com/Survivor NSFW, we have, how many hours of content do we have up there, Jonny?
Currently?
Yes.
Slightly less than 1 million.
1 million hours of content.
But don't quote us on that.
Now, we have a lot of content. So
we do every Monday, we do the Castaway Watch Along, in which we watch an old episode of Survivor episodically in order. We started with Pearl Islands, episode 1, and we had many guests along with us each week. We had Sandra Diaz-Twine, we had Burton Roberts, we had Dara Johnson, Andrew Savage. And we talk you through, you use it as a companion piece to the CBS app or Hulu or Amazon or wherever, or even if you illegally download the show. I don't work for CBS. It's okay. You can. But it's a companion piece. And so you have on one screen, you have the actual episode, and then besides you have us talking about it. And it's a lot of fun. I think it's informative. I think I know for a fact that the patrons that have checked it out, they're just like, holy shit, I learned a lot. And so the first episode for Pearl Islands is free. That one, if you search on patreon.com/Survivor NSFW, just scroll down to the first one. You can watch that for free and check it out, see what it's like. And then that's a weekly feature. The video version of our free podcast, of our free weekly podcast, is also available on patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. And then every Friday we do a Q&A. And that's a ton of fun and possibly the most fun of anything that we do all week, because you, the patrons, you give us the questions, and you know, plenty are Survivor related. Some of them are as you know, as out there or as non-Survivor related as, you know, what's the better album, you know, Pearl Jam 10 or Soundgarden,
Super Unknown.
Super Unknown. You know, what's you guys, you know, favorite beverage, favorite fast food. So and you know, we have fun with it. We occasionally have some survivors join us to answer the questions. We had Brandon Hance one time. We had Carl, Godfather Carl, last week joined us. So if you haven't checked out the Patreon, give it a shot for 1 month. I mean, we have hours and hours and hours. If you've been waiting, it's just like, you know, how, you know, like, you know, there's another guy, I'm not going to name names, Russell Hance. He did 2 fucking episodes of Patreon for 2018, and he still has 25 patrons. So
Right.
we every week, we have not missed a week. We have not missed an episode. Every week we do a Q&A. We do the video version of our weekly podcast, and we do a Castaway watch along. So we're just finishing up Survivor Pearl Islands now. Next, we're moving on to Survivor Caramoan. I will be watching for the first time. I'm so excited to see my co-host in action. And then from there, probably Survivor Africa. So fun stuff. Give us a shot. Survivor or patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. But let's talk about the event that actually brought us together, and that is Reality for Diabetes. If you are looking for information on that, head over to facebook.com and just do a search for Reality space the number 4 space diabetes. That's DIABETES. No one said there would be spelling. So, and check it out. It is, this year is Reality for Diabetes 15 is the 15th annual event, and it will take place in Cincinnati the weekend of June 1st. Last year, it was myself, Matt Bischoff, the who's
Big
who.
Tom, Lex Vandenberg, Wendell. I mean, you name it. And this is cool, Jay. This is my hometown. I met Tasha, who puts this event on in Cincinnati, when I did my viewing parties for Survivor Caramoan. I met her. I met Big Mike and all the crew, and Big Mike helps out with this event. We do a lot of different events. There's like a go play putt-putt with the reality stars. There's do escape rooms. There's sand volleyball. There's dinners. There's bowling and ropes courses. You name it. There's been tons of different events throughout the years. So you pay to go to these events, to do these events with the survivors. So if you're a fan of Survivor and want to have an intimate one-on-one talks and chats with people from Survivor, Big Brother, The Amazing Race, and more, this is a great and fun way to do it. It all goes toward the JDRF, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And on the Saturday, I believe June 1st it is a walk at Kings Island Amusement Park. So you get to go on this walk. It's everyone involved in this JDRF fundraiser is part of this walk. And,
I like to say fundraiser.
Yeah, that's right. but it is a lot of fun. Tasha has, type 1 diabetes, and she's been putting this thing on for 15 times. And so you definitely want to look up on Facebook, and Jonny and I on our social media leading up. If you follow us at Jonny Fairplay on Instagram is Jonny's personal Instagram. My personal Instagram at the Matt Bischoff, because Matt Bischoff was taken. And then at Survivor NSFW on Instagram. You can check us out on Facebook too. But these events are really fun, you guys. If you're a fan, Cincinnati's a big town for reality TV in general. And like Jonny said before, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but definitely check out Survivor, TIX.com for the February 20th Survivor Edge of Extinction premiere party at night. It's a viewing party and live Q&A. We got all kinds of survivors coming. And also in the daytime, 1 to 4 p.m., Morrow, Ohio. Food, drinks will be provided. It's $100 to play cornhole against the survivors. There's going to be professional cornhole players in the house. If you're a fan and like I said, want this super intimate experience, there's limited spaces for the cornhole event.
Only 20. It's the dirty 20. So only 20 people. There will not be 21. There will not be 22. There will not be 23. There will not be 24. Matt Bischoff, hear me now. There will not be 25. Possibly not even 26. Could very well not even be 27.
Right on.
20. Only 20.
Only
not even 28.
So you guys
or 29. The more you know what? Absolutely not 30. It is the Dirty 20. You can even check out tickets at thedirty20.com. But you can get tickets for all of our events at Survivor Tix. That's SurvivorTix.com.
And we are about to bring in our next guest. He runs the charity event that I've actually personally never been to, but Jonny has been.
Last 2 years. Yep. Life-changing event. Celebration,
Florida. Hearts of Reality. Omar's coming on our show right now to talk about that event. What is going on, Omar from Hearts of Reality? How you doing tonight, dude?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing extremely well. Actually,
hold on. I have to double check something, Matt.
Yes.
Well, this is more of a question for Omar. Am I on double secret probation on this podcast, or am I kind of can I just or am I okay? Because I know Hearts of Reality that I was on double secret probation. Then I think I'm just on single probation. Like this is year 3. And it's just a podcast. I'm not in the Celebration Florida borders, city limits, or anything. I'm in North Carolina as we speak. So,
as far as I know, there's nothing personal right now with
today.
Yeah, today, as of right now.
Good
but
stuff.
The way you never know how it goes. But
man,
trust me, I'll make it. I'll make it work if I have to plead my case like I've done for so many other people.
It's good to be on the good list, Omar. Thanks for being here, and thanks for having me.
So Omar, 2019, there is the Hearts of Reality, takes place in August. Kind of run through what the event is all about, a little history behind it.
Absolutely. So Hearts of Reality will be in its 11th year this year. 2019, it supports Give Kids the World, which is an 84-acre resort for children with critical illnesses that have a wish to come to Central Florida for Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, things like that. It's all expenses paid for their entire family for an entire week. And the village is the place that the wish is fulfilled. So the family gets a villa. It's a 2-bedroom villa with a living room and a kitchen and everything just like their home. And then they get an entire week of a once-in-a-lifetime vacation. And in that week, they celebrate Halloween, Christmas, a birthday party. We have a talent show that the kids can perform in. And then what all the reality stars get to experience on the Friday night is what we call Once Upon a Village, which is a celebration with pirates and princesses and mermaids. And all the reality stars come dressed everything from pirates and princesses to Mario and Luigi, which Adam and Jay did from Survivor. Christina Korea came as Wonder Woman.
A very elaborate Wonder Woman outfit.
Indeed.
Ooh la la.
Oh, that's awesome.
Whoops! Did Omar freeze up?
Yeah,
there.
I'm good.
I can edit that little. I can clip that. So
okay.
So everyone is dressing up for the main event. which is what the reality stars do. Now, Jonny, you have been to this event. I have not. I've seen it every year on social media, and I've heard a million opinions about it. To me, it sounds like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the reality stars to be able to touch these kids' lives with these illnesses. I imagine, Jonny, I know I always joke around about the black-hearted Jonny Fairplay, but hearing Omar talk about that, dude, just as a parent and how gnarly it is of what the event is all about, was it very emotional at the time when you're with these kids, Jonny?
Yeah, no, I'm fighting tears talking about this. It's the most incredible thing that I've ever been asked to do. So it's I mean, you hear the story of the founder who grew up in a concentration camp as a child, and he didn't want for any kid, to suffer or not have, the greatest life possible. And he started with he owned what was it, Howard Johnson, Omar?
Holiday Inn.
Mm-hmm. And he started just by giving a couple rooms to a few families to come down. If they wanted to go to Disney, they could stay there free of charge. And it's just escalated to what was 84 acres.
Mm-hmm.
And
166 villas, so we can house 166 families per week. And then even if we're at capacity, we have ways that if a child wants their wish that specific week when we're at capacity, we put them up in a Disney resort for the week, and they still get to experience their wish when they need to and want to, because sometimes it's more than just a want. It's kind of a necessity. There have been children who, were told they have, weeks to live and we can fulfill their wish, very quickly, so that they get to make those memories.
So Omar, the 11th, I mean, how does one deal with the year after year being a part of all of this, knowing that there's kids that this is the last time that they're going to be around? How do you cope with that? Like, what's your coping mechanism to deal with it, dude?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. There's a story, and our newest ride that we actually have at Give Kids the World is named after this child. And she came and she had her wish, and they had to travel by car just because of her condition. So she went through her whole week, and they drove home. And when they arrived home, the little girl had passed away in the back seat on the drive home. And so the parents, as they do, we don't usually always know what happens after they leave the village. But she wrote a letter saying that she had passed away, but she was happy to know that her last week of her life was her best week of her life. Wow. And so it really is, even though it sounds like it's a sad thing, it's giving families an opportunity, even on the smallest level. 75% of the families that come have never even had a vacation or been out of the county that they live in, or on an airplane, or to Disney World even, or to do any of these things. So even on that level, and it's also for the families, because all these the siblings, the parents, they're all dealing with this situation, and they get to have a week where they don't have to worry about anything. I mean, we have 3 meals a day. We have a full cafeteria. They can have ice cream whenever they want. Our biggest thing is that we never say no. So anything that they want, we make it happen. And it's really kind of, even though it sounds like it would be a sad place, it's a really happy and positive place.
Well, that's absolutely amazing. And go ahead, Jonny.
Well, like the big thing. All right, so say you have a family that has like three or four brothers and sisters, and there's the one child that is going through this. Sometimes you have those other siblings resent that other child. Is just like everything's about them. When they go to this, everyone they're just like, yay, we love Timmy, and it's that week Timmy's the hero. And you hear the stories because there's so many families and so many volunteers that come back, that that a child that has passed away, the family comes back to volunteer 1 week or 2 weeks a year because they want to make this experience for another family. It's just, I mean, like, if you don't leave there a better or changed person, like, we make fun of the cavernous hole that should hold a heart here for Johnny Fairplay. but
No, dude. I mean, we're all human beings, and it proves that there's good in this world. And so, if you're a fan of these reality shows, so you can go and meet and greet with the reality stars that attend Hearts of Reality, correct?
Yeah, that's Saturday.
Right. Yeah, and there are several ways that people can support or be a part of the fan aspect of Hearts of Reality. Throughout the year, we sell Skype calls, so you can Skype with your favorite reality star. We sell all kinds, and all of that money goes to Give Kids the World. You can, like I said, that and things on eBay, but then we have the weekend that you can actually attend, and there are several different types of packages that you can do. The VIP package allows you to stay at the hotel with the reality stars and do all the parties, the People Magazine party that's on Thursday night, the pool party that's new, but it's on Saturday night. We have a VIP happy hour. And then on Saturday, we have the public autograph signing, which allows, the general public that don't necessarily get the VIP package to come do meet and greets, take pictures, get autographs, and all of that money goes to Give Kids the World. And then Saturday night is kind of the infamous, what we now call the Decades Party, where all the reality stars come. There's karaoke, and we all dress in our favorite decade, and people have gotten crazy. I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures with the costumes.
So tell me, how many approximate reality stars are in attendance for this event?
At least 4.
Exactly.
Guaranteed.
Some years 5 or 6. But more realistically, probably between 75 and 100.
Wow, 75 and 100. Now, this year, 2019, what are the dates of the event, and where can people that are listening to this podcast go to find out more information about possibly attending?
So you can go to heartsofreality.com and see all of the current list. It changes almost every day, where we're adding people to kind of keep people coming back and looking at the site. You won't see Jonny on there yet, or Matt, but maybe hopefully soon we'll get them on there. And you can also see all of the different events that you can do. Most of them are up to date on there right now. Some things are still TBA. We have a couple of extra events that we haven't completely planned yet because it's still super early. But I will say this too, that about every single reality star donates all of their time. They do Skype calls, they post their fundraising pages, and they raise money, and they do it all. We don't pay anybody anything. They do it because they support the charity, they want to be a part of it, and they also want to come and see each other. I mean, it's a big reunion, so it's a lot of fun for them. But the amount of love and just donating their like time is precious, and just I don't even know how to put it into words what I get to see with everybody becoming a part of Hearts of Reality, and then coming to the village and actually interacting with the kids. It's really incredible, actually.
Well, it's a selfless act. You know what I mean? And so it is true. And to be, I've done a lot of different things through being on Survivor and volunteer my time. Hell, I volunteer hours a week with this idiot with the man bun right here doing our podcast. No, but in all seriousness, to be able to use our platform, we're just normal people that happen to get on these crazy TV shows, and to be able to have these experiences and go to these events, it's awesome. So everyone listening, I would highly suggest checking out the Florida event. Obviously, Florida's beautiful. 75 to 100 survivors and other reality shows, Amazing Race, Big Brother, and other shows. But it sounds
Celebrity Big Brother, Jonathan Bennett last year. Who knew?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And like I said, I mean, from the community being in the community and seeing social media stuff, I've heard nothing but amazing things. And so, yeah, hopefully 2019 will be amazing for you guys.
And I'd like to think that we're responsible for Jonathan getting on Big Brother just because he talked to, Natalie Negrotti and Josh Martinez and everybody that was there from Big Brother this past year.
There you go.
And I think he got some good advice, hopefully. So maybe he'll go pretty far, even though he's on the block now. Spoiler alert.
Do you think he will be able to master the 5-piece puzzle? Because those.
if it's a puzzle about Mean Girls, then he certainly will.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Well, Omar, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We'll have all the information in the text that is accompanied to what Jonny posts online with all the links to your event. But it's heartsofreality.com. Tell them the date again, Omar.
August 8th through 10, and then the autograph signing is on the 10th.
Right on. Well, it's been great having you on the podcast, and I wish you much success. And hopefully, Jonny and I, if we're not banned, will.
There's still time.
Hopefully, we'll see you there, man. So.
Yes, definitely.
Right on. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Well, Jonny Fairplay, there you have it. What a fun podcast that was. Talking about 4 amazing Survivor-related, reality star charity events. We had John Vataha, awesome guy, Survivor super fan, and his event, the Survival Challenge this year coming up, the Reality Rally event with, Jillian, and hopefully maybe people that are listening. Jonny, you might be banned from that event. You might not be. You might be banned from Hearts for Reality. You might be banned from everything, or you might not be banned. We will see. But we got the Reality Rally is Temecula, California, Cincinnati, Ohio, my hometown for Reality for Diabetes, and Omar, Hearts of Reality. Man, Jonny, I was, as a dad, man, I'm a sensitive guy as it is, but seeing you get touched to the point of tears, that's something pretty heavy, dude. Okay,
it's real. I mean, you go down there, and it's real. Like, there's a couple survivors that I've heard these stories about, that went for the wrong reasons and didn't, and I just get so angry because I'm just like, how could you go to this and not, be there for why you're supposed to be there?
Right.
So, but no, it's as I said, it's a life-changing event. I'm so honored to be a part of it, and when we talked about putting this podcast together, without a doubt, I had to have Omar on to discuss it, and also want to say thank you to Michael Nunez for also allowing me to be a part of the event, and everyone go support all these events. I mean, there's we have the opportunity to change the world and help the world in any way, and so that's why this podcast was put together. And thank you, Matt, for helping me, and thank me for helping you.
Right on. Well, yeah, so everybody, hope you enjoyed this special bonus podcast. Check out all the events, and we will see you next time on Survivor NSFW. Cheers.